make our environment. We'll just call this agentic TypeScript. We're going to want to init. Then, I guess at this point, open it in your favorite IDE. npm install OpenAI, as well as vtest and tsx. We're going to be using OpenAI's API for this. When we're chatting, prompting, we're using OpenAI. So here's our package.json. Our only dependency is OpenAI. Then dev, we have tsx and vtest. Next, we're going to want to create a tsconfig.json and copy this over from the blog post. Now we need to get an OpenAI API key. To do that, you can go to platform.openai.com. So you're going to want to log in. You're going to go to Settings, API Keys, and then create a new API key. You're going to name it. Let's just do agentic TypeScript project, default, create secret key. Copy this, and then add it to a .env file. We're going to call this OpenAI secret key. Make sure this doesn't go to your online environments. We're going to .getignore. Referencing the diagram, the first node is our test spec file. Let's just go with convention and create a test directory. And inside of it, I'm going to do an add.spec.ts. Now, we're going to actually bring in all of this code. We have an add.spec.ts on my blog post. We're going to copy it over. And then we're going to go to package. And let's actually we want to do a vtest run. So if we do npm run test, we're going to vtest run, fail to load url.add. Makes sense. We actually don't have a .add function. Now we want to do the actual function implementation. We have our test spec file, and here we need to read it. We're going to pull in a read file content. We're going to do utils read file content.ts. This is all AI generated code, but it does exactly what you would expect. It reads the file content. It's going to be reading this add.spec.ts file, parsing it into a string that it could then send off to OpenAI. That's where we are here. Attach content of file to prompt. We want to actually start scripting this around. So I guess we could do an index.ts, and let's do a read file content. Let's just say const content is equals to read file content. We're going to do test/add.spec.ts. Now we import it. We'll do a console.log of content. Now we can use tsx and package.json to run this. So I'm going to say dev, and it's going to be tsx index.ts. Now if I do npm run dev, there we go. It's logging the content of this file, which is here. Now that we've read the content of the file, we want to attach it to a prompt. We'll start with just a base prompt. Our goal here is to get the LLM or ChatGPT to understand our spec file and write the function that'll pass the tests. I try to be clear. Write a TypeScript module that passes these tests. Only return executable TypeScript code. Do not return markdown output. Do not write wrap code in triple backticks. Do not return YAML. So these are all just like edge cases, I guess. In experience, I've just had to weave the LLM in a particular way. So this is a good base prompt. But again, we want to attach the contents of file to prompt. So we can do const prompt equals, let's do content plus base prompt. Now we need to send the prompt to AI. First, we're going to want to import OpenAI from OpenAI. We're just going to instantiate a new OpenAI object, as well as we're going to define the string model that we're going to be using shortly. Import the chat completion message param type from OpenAI resources, because now we're defining our messages array that we're going to be sending to ChatGPT. There's really just two values: the role, in this case system, and then the content, which is going to be our prompt that we defined here. With messages in place, we can actually just send it off to OpenAI. We can now log it. So I ran this and got this top level await is currently not supported. I believe that's because we need type module in our package.json. Let's try that again. Yep, there we go. So this is the output. This is what OpenAI has sent us. If I actually copy it and do an add.ts and paste it, this is what you'll see. What's cool here is if we do an npm run test, they actually all pass. We've read the spec file, attached it to the prompt, created the messages array and sent it to our AI in ChatGPT. We've written this response to the file manually, and then we've ran the tests. It passed. What we haven't implemented yet is the failure case, as well as the attempts. And this is really the agentic loop. What we've implemented is a happy path. What we need to implement is this loop behavior. So there's a conditional, as well as using the response to adjust the AI and building on the context, which is an essential part of being an agent. This is where we're going to end for today. See you in the next one.